For years, Heart to Heart wasn't just another television show. It was a fantasy. Glamour, romance, intrigue, and danger unfolded effortlessly, week after week, as Jonathan and Jennifer Hart solved crimes with charm and style. Audiences couldn't help but wonder if that chemistry was real, and whispers of off-screen intrigue followed the show long after the cameras stopped rolling. Now, at 83, Stefanie Powers has finally opened up about what really happened behind the scenes. She reveals the truths that were never public, the moments fans weren't meant to see, and the careful illusions that protected the magic. Her reflections remind us why the show's legacy remains enchanting decades later. Escaping ordinary television, Heart to Heart premiered in 1979, and it immediately offered something different. While other shows focused on domestic squabbles or gritty realism, this series celebrated a polished, idealized world. Jonathan and Jennifer's marriage wasn't a battlefield, it was a fantasy. Powers, who played Jennifer Hart, explains that the show's appeal came from its refusal to dwell on ordinary frustrations. There were no arguments over chores, no petty conflicts. Max, the loyal butler, handled the mundane. Audiences adore the aspirational elegance, the effortless romance, and the charm that made every episode feel like a carefully orchestrated dream. Powers understood why viewers were drawn to it. It gave them a glimpse of the life they wished they could have. The heart of the show. Stefanie Powers often compares the show's dynamic to the classic Thin Man films, where wit and playfulness defined relationships. Yet Heart to Heart went further, offering a fantasy unburdened by the minutiae of daily life. The show presented a universal longing, a desire for love, joy, and partnership that transcended routine struggles. We rose above normal concerns, Powers explains. That idealized relationship resonated deeply because it tapped into the dreams we all secretly harbor. Reflecting on television today, Powers laments the loss of such optimism. Reality programming, she says, often feels staged or intrusive, stripping away the magic audiences crave. Heart to Heart wasn't about realism. It was about reminding viewers that fantasy can feed the heart. The shock of cancellation. The end of the series didn't come gently. After 5 successful seasons, Powers was in France filming Mistral's Daughter, preparing for what she thought would be another year of Heart to Heart. Exciting scripts were already planned, glamorous Paris fashion shows, whimsical adventures for the hearts, even a storyline for Freeway the dog. Then the call came. Tom Manovich, Aaron Spelling, and Robert Wagner delivered devastating news. The series was canceled. Powers recalls the overwhelming shock, confessing that she cried all night. The suddenness made it worse. There was no farewell, no closure, just an abrupt end to a beloved world. For fans, it was heartbreaking. For Powers, it marked the loss of more than a show. It was the end of a cherished chapter of her life. From grief to new opportunities, life, however, continued. A few years later, Robert Wagner approached Powers with a different kind of project. Love Letters, a 2-person stage play. Hesitant only briefly, she read the script and felt a spark. Their first performance wasn't on Broadway. It was in Wagner's living room for family and friends. Yet the chemistry and ease that defined Heart to Heart carried over effortlessly. Powers embraced theater's intimacy, discovering that even in small spaces, storytelling could captivate audiences. This transition illustrated her resilience and dedication to craft. Life had pulled her away from television, but her talent remained undeniable, allowing her to explore new artistic avenues while maintaining the elegance and charm that defined her iconic television role. Trials of the Body and Heart. In the same period, life tested Powers in profound ways. She underwent major surgery, losing part of her right lung in a fight for survival. At the same time, she endured personal loss. Her mother passed away at 96. Grief and physical pain collided, leaving her little space for recovery or reflection. That winter became a crucible, forcing Powers to summon courage and endurance she hadn't realized she possessed. Yet, she persisted, maintaining her commitment to performance and craft. These hardships illuminated the depth of her strength, proving that behind the glamorous image, there was a resilient woman willing to face life's harshest realities while still creating beauty and joy on stage and screen. Early career, persistence, and reinvention. Long before her iconic role, Powers quietly built a career defined by persistence and reinvention. In The Feather and Father Gang, she played a sharp lawyer paired with a charming ex-con father, though the show lasted only half a season. Her early years involved constant movement between guest roles on series such as The Mod Squad, Kung Fu, The Rockford Files, and The Bionic Woman. Even long-term studio contracts couldn't anchor her. Opportunities often arrived briefly, then disappeared. Yet Powers embraced every chance to grow as an actor. She sought serious, meaningful work in political miniseries and dramatic TV films, demonstrating that her commitment extended far beyond fame. She pursued roles that challenged her, refined her craft, and revealed her versatility. Finding permanent success. Finally, in 1979, Powers discovered stability and recognition through Hart to Hart. As Jennifer Hart, she redefined television romance with intelligence, grace, and charm. The series not only ran 5 seasons, but returned for reunion films in the 1990s, cementing her place in television history. Her portrayal embodied sophistication and playfulness, influencing generations of viewers. Yet Powers never rested on her success. She continued taking on complex roles in theater, television, and film, constantly seeking growth over comfort. Her trajectory reflected a refusal to be complacent. Each project demonstrated her commitment to the craft, even as she honored the legacy of the beloved show that made her a household name. Life beyond television. After Hart to Hart, Powers' career spanned multiple continents and mediums. She toured internationally, performed on British television, embraced reality programming, and returned to film with projects exploring nuanced human emotions. Theater remained central, whether in musicals or dramatic revivals, where her stage presence captivated audiences as powerfully as her television roles once had. Even later in life, she recorded music and revisited iconic works, always reinventing herself. Powers' story is less about linear success and more about resilience, adaptability, and enduring passion. She demonstrates that a career in entertainment is a journey, filled with peaks, valleys, and constant opportunities for reinvention. A legacy of fantasy and hope. Hart to Hart represented more than escapism. It embodied joy, love, and hope. Powers believes audiences long for that same sense of happiness and admiration for one another. Modern television may often favor conflict and exposure, but she champions the enduring appeal of fantasy that uplifts rather than scrutinizes. Her reflections on the show remind viewers that beauty and idealism have value in storytelling. By revisiting her career and the show's impact, Powers demonstrates how fantasy, when executed with elegance and sincerity, can offer lasting emotional resonance. Hart to Hart was never just entertainment. It was a blueprint for joy, charm, and heartfelt connection. Enduring influence, Stefanie Powers' career reflects perseverance, creativity, and an unwavering commitment to craft. Hart to Hart may have ended abruptly, but its influence continues to captivate audiences. Powers' insight into the show, her personal trials, and her diverse body of work show a remarkable artist who embraces both challenge and opportunity. Beyond nostalgia, her story highlights the enduring importance of optimism and imagination in entertainment. Powers' reflections affirm that sometimes the heart requires a touch of fantasy, a reminder that beauty, love, and charm are worth preserving. Through her work, she continues to inspire, leaving a legacy that resonates far beyond the screen.